Shivaya Om. Om Namah Shivaya Om. Om Namah Shivaya Om. Om Namah Shivaya Om. What does God destroy? What does he spare? Now, if God is both creator and destroyer and preserver, what does he destroy? Now, if we use a biblical reference, God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. If we use a Hindu reference, God told the Pandavas to basically kill every creature in this one forest that they may build their city. And, of course, one of the snakes escaped and later tried to seek vengeance upon the Pandava. In the Bible, we do not see anyone from Sodom or Gomorrah coming to seek vengeance, but we obviously observe, if we take these accounts for, their face value, and if we take them literally, we see many accounts throughout many scriptures in every religion of God either destroying something or encouraging something to be destroyed by those who were following him, her, it. So I ask again, what does God destroy? God destroys that which is past its usefulness to the soul of everyone. If an institution or if a way of life, a tradition, is no longer useful to help uplift the soul of everyone involved and everyone they have contact with, that group has contact with, then God will destroy that. Now, when I'm referring to God, I'm referring to an idea of God that most people consider as being God. I would say that Shiv is the God that would either influence humans or bring about the destruction of something that is no longer useful in the material world. Only destroying the material, not the spirit or the soul, but destroying that material or that materialistic tradition that holds the soul back, that holds our third eye shut. And we see that Shiva, he is always in communion with the formless. That is his form in a way. That's how we know him. He is the step before the formless. And he's in constant communion with the formless, and rarely does he open his third eye and open his eyes upon this world. For when he opens his third eye, something is destroyed. Whether it be somebody's karma, a material, or a corrupt institution, a corrupt person. And maybe it's not literally like a beam comes out, but the spiritual influence of Shiva's third eye is so powerful that when it is opened, it is only because of dire need to destroy a materialistic either tradition, person, institution, what have you. And we don't hear in the newspaper of Shiva opening his third eye. We don't hear of him even in, there are very few instances even in scripture of him opening his third eye, and we get a literal account of what happened. Because most of the, Shiva Purana, and most of the Hindu texts about Shiva are very symbolic of what they represent for us in our lives, in our person, in our being, and how we address the materialistic natures within us and how we destroy them. So to me, Shiva is that part of God that destroys materialistic nature and material holding us back. But for people in other religions who aren't Hindu, who don't believe in Shiva, who don't refer to multiple gods as different parts of one God, who don't refer to multiple gods in regards to different parts of creation manifested in their most potent and powerful forms. Gods can be these things. For those of you who do not believe, as I do, I would say that I would recommend that you look at your holy books, your scriptures, or even if you don't believe any of this, look at how the cosmos destroys, and renews. You don't have to enter in God or anything supernatural at all, anything metaphysical at all. Look at the natural cycles in nature, in the cosmos, and draw a conclusion on how everything is reborn. So, if you do believe in God, you are a spiritual, religious person, you obviously believe that God has his way of instituting cycles of destruction and rebirth. So, what does God destroy? He destroys that which is no longer useful to the soul, as I said. And how do we determine that which is no longer useful to our soul or other people's souls, if we may be so bold as to destroy it for them, which I would not recommend, but destroying those things in your life that are materialistic, that confine your own soul, your own identity, where you become too compacted, too related to ego. How do you see those parts of your lives that need to be destroyed? Maybe asking Shiva, maybe asking your own God, maybe asking your own avatar, Christ, Krishna, or just, you can even ask the immortals. You can ask the cycles themselves, the differing forms of consciousness, bodhisattvas, whatever. How do you decide what you're going to ask to be destroyed if you ask anything? If you ask something that is above you, if you believe something is above you, how do you decide? Look at all the habits that you have in life, whether they be habits of, natural everyday life, of buying too much coffee, or smoking too many cigarettes, or making fun of people too easily after you perceive a slight against you, quickly becoming defensive, quickly becoming lustful if you see something in society that you are attracted to, easily becoming greedy. When you get a little bit of money, you're like, oh, if I just had a little bit more, I'd be better off. Look at these habits in your life and how they tie us to the material nature of this world. If the material nature of this world is tied to most of your desires, most of your efforts in this world, then there is much to be destroyed. And only you can destroy it, but the divine can help. You must make the decision to destroy, but the divine can help you destroy that. And, God does not destroy without need, without somebody observing that is either external or internal, the situation at hand. There is no society that there is no, good person or some kind of consciousness left in that society that God just intercedes without there being kind of a pure witness. Most of the time we're pure witnesses to ourselves. There's a witness within that views what is happening in our lives, how we are attached. So, decide what ties you to this world and work away from it. Ask your God, ask the gods, ask Shiv, if you can gain aid in working away from the things that tie you to this world, to the desires of this materialistic body, anything that you cannot take with you when you die or does not help your soul on its spiritual path. Find that within yourself and then ask the gods. Ask God, ask Shiv, whoever you need to ask, in whatever relationship to the divine that you have, whatever understanding of that which is beyond you have. Bring that only after you realize that there are materialistic habits in your life and desires and fears of dying, fear of losing this or that. All these things take so much of our spirit that, hell, how much is there left when you move on? Now, spirit is different than soul, but I'm not going to get into that. But we have a certain amount of spirit in this life. How much will you commit to this world and that which ties you here? And how much will you pass on to the divine, which fuels your soul, kind of like a rocket fuels a spaceship into space? How much of your spirit will you allow to be the fuel to project your soul beyond this life when you do pass? So, I hope that this has been interesting. I hope that you will find the things that tie you down in your life that are very materialistic in nature, or material itself, or the fears and desires that confine us to this ego, into this world, into this body. I hope that you look at yourself and decide for yourself. I cannot decide for you. Nobody can tell you what needs to be destroyed in your life. But once you figure it out, look up, gaze upon your stars, and ask that question, that most terrible question. will you destroy this piece of myself that is holding me back? Thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.